Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So, you know how you calculate a cost for an article in SAP? Ever stop to think how that number becomes, like, the official number?
Yeah. The final step.
Exactly. Today, we're diving into that final, crucial piece. We're looking at the SAP CK24 transaction based on a user guide.
Right.
And our mission, really, is to get why the CK24 thing is so vital, especially for getting your stock valuation right and figuring out your actual profit after you've done that initial cost calculation, of course.
Precisely. You put in all that groundwork, don't you? You get your article master, set up your BMs, your routings. Then you run CK11N to get that first cost estimate.
Yep, got the number.
But CK24 is the necessary follow-up. It's what takes that estimate and makes it, well, real for accounting. Turns it into a binding value.
Okay, so you've done the prep. You ran CK11N. You have this potential cost. It feels like you should be done, right? Like you've crossed the finish line.
Almost, but not quite. CK11N, it just does the math, basically. It calculates it.
It's just the calculation.
Yeah. CK24, people often call it the price update tool. That's where the cost gets formally locked in for your cost of goods sold.
Ah, okay.
It's the difference, really, between just a plan, a projection, and the number that actually hits your financial statements.
Gotcha. So, okay, walk me through it. How does CK24 take that potential cost, maybe just for one article, and make it official? What are the actual steps?
Okay, so first, CK24 needs to find that cost estimate you just created in CK11N.
Makes sense. It needs the input.
Right. Then there's a step called marking. Now, this is technically optional, but highly recommended. Think of it as a sort of preliminary thumbs up.
Like a pre-approval.
Exactly. You're flagging it, saying, yes, this is the cost I intend to use as the future standard price. It's a good pre-validation check.
Right, like a sanity check before you commit. So marking is the quality check.
Sure.
What's after marking?
Then comes the really critical part. Validation or release. Same thing, different names sometimes.
This is the big one.
This is it. This action officially saves that estimated cost. It becomes the new active standard price right there in the article master record.
Where exactly in the master record?
It updates the accounting 1 view that holds your financial valuation stuff and also the costing 2 view, which is key for all your cost accounting analysis.
Okay.
It's this validation step that truly transforms that calculated number into a real usable figure inside SAP.
So why is that validation so important? I mean, what actually changes when you hit that release button? What's the ripple effect?
Well, think about it. Before you validate in CK24, that CK11N cost is just data. It's a calculation sitting there.
Just a number.
Right. Once you validate, that standard cost becomes the value SAP uses for every single future stock movement of that article. Every time it comes in, goes out.
Ah, okay. So inventory valuation.
Directly impacts it, hugely. It determines how your inventory is valued on your balance sheet, and that flows right through to your profit and loss statements. It literally turns that theoretical cost calculation into a hard accounting value. That's why you need to be careful, be precise. Because making changes after it's released, that's usually much more controlled, more regulated.
Right, you want to get it right the first time. Okay, that really clarifies the why. Now, the how do you physically get into CK24 in SAP? Yep. Any shortcuts?
Yep, you can navigate the standard SAP menu path, follow the folders, or just type CK24 directly into the command field. That's the transaction code shortcut.
CK24, easy enough. What's the first screen look like? What do you need to enter?
The initial screen usually asks for a couple of inputs. 0100 and 0130 are mentioned in the guide. Yeah. Then, naturally, you put in the article code or codes that you want to update.
Okay.
There's also a specific step mentioned about deselecting an option. The guide doesn't specify which one, unfortunately. But often in SAP, deselection boxes like that relate to maybe test runs versus actual runs or specific processing parameters you might not always need. You deselect it based on your situation.
So check the box, or rather uncheck the box.
Uncheck the box, yeah. Then you hit execute, usually the little clock icon.
All right, click the clock. Now we're in the main part of CK24. What's the next move to actually do the validation?
So once you're in that operational mode, you'll look for and click on the validation button itself.
Click validation.
Then there's usually another button you click to actually trigger the execution of that validation. Could be another clock or a check mark, depends on the exact screen version.
Okay, trigger the validation.
And once it runs, you need to save the changes. You'll use the green arrow icon for that. That typically saves and backs you out one step.
And to get out completely.
Same green arrow again, usually takes you all the way out of the transaction.
Got it. Green arrow saves, green arrow exits. Simple enough. Okay, let's try and tie this all together then. If there's one main thing listeners should take away from this deep dive on CK24, what is it?
I think the core message, really, is that understanding and correctly using CK24 is absolutely essential. It's the bridge. It connects your initial cost planning and calculation.
The CK01N part.
Right, the CK01N part.
Yeah.
It connects that to the actual official book value of your articles within the SAP system. This final validation is what makes all that costing work feed into reliable financial data.
And that reliable data is what you base decisions on.
Exactly. It's the foundation for sound business strategy, accurate reporting, everything.
That really highlights it. It's not just another transaction code. It's the gatekeeper for costs hitting the official record. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So the thought for everyone listening, how much faith do you put in your financial data? And does it rely on one final, maybe seemingly small validation step like this? What other critical little steps might be hiding in plain sight within the complex systems you use every day?
Good question to ponder.
Definitely. Well, thanks for exploring this deep dive with us today. Welcome to the